When we think about our oceans, we think about great water masses, scary unknowns, and humongous animals. But one thing is for sure, we always think about huge schools of fish, perfectly in sync, beautiful, and coordinated. But what if one day they just vanished? Not so cool, huh? Well, unfortunately, that's exactly where the fate of our ocean is headed. Overfishing, which is the collection of a species of fish from a body of water at a high rate, renders the breeding population unstable and makes it too depleted to recover. This can cause many different species to become underpopulated. Overfishing can be linked with a form of commercial fishing that catches vast quantities of undesirable fish and other organisms which are then thrown out. Overfishing not only threatens our ecosystems, but also us humans are affected.
Overfishing can take place in lakes, rivers, oceans, and ponds of any country. So now that we know our local and international seas are in danger, we need to act now. In the span of 10 years, Trinidad and Tobago alone can catch 13,000 tons of fish. That's equivalent to approximately 26 million fish. But that's still small numbers. In the same time period, Jamaica can catch 50,000 tons of fish. If such small countries like us in the Caribbean can do so much damage, do we even want to know what countries like the USA and China can do? PS is approximately 650.3 million tons. Something even more morbid about these statistics is that they do not account for something very important. As we mentioned before, overfishing is linked to many nasty things, but one of those things is bycatch. Bycatch is all the fish that's caught that wasn't necessarily supposed to be caught, and more often than not, guess what they do? They just throw it back into the ocean after it's already dead. These numbers aren't accounted for, so who knows what the actual statistics are?
Now, if you're thinking this is no big deal, that's where you're wrong. Fish are not replenishable, and we need to stop treating them as such. Do you have any idea of what may happen if even one keystone species goes extinct? Let's break it down for you. There could be major food chain disruption, environment degradation, and even invasive species takeover. But apart from this, what about the people who actually depend on fish to live? Well, on top of there being a decrease in food, fishermen are now put in a very worrisome position without a daily catch. How will they feed their families without an income?
So how do we help? Well, really the best thing you can do is to stop eating fish, but we know that's not a very feasible option for lots of people. Instead, what we can do is be more cautious of where our fish come from. Instead of buying frozen packaged fish from those big corporations, why not support your local fishermen and have some fresh local redfish? Or maybe even take up a hobby instead and catch your own fish with the family. Most importantly, the government needs to be more involved. More laws need to be set in place to counteract corporate overfishing and illegal fishing, so that there are strict laws and penalties set in place for persons who purposefully break these institutions. Another thing the government can do is to involve themselves in more international conventions that protect the oceans and its biodiversity.
Now you know the truth. Maybe next time you'll rethink that bacon shark. Or should I say bacon catfish? I know I will. And I'll be sure to educate others on what's going on right now in our oceans and seas.